to Ohsweken Speedway as Burger Barn presents the night before the Nationals, rather. The night before the big show, tomorrow night, the 15th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. My name is Greg Kelman. With me is Adam Ross down track side. Clinton Jeffrey as we are ready to go racing with the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks in their first of two qualifying heats here this evening. Going from the pole out of Caledonia in car number 11, the Pinball, Mike Giberson alongside him. Tim DeBoer in car number 9 from York. Going from third, Kyle Wirt out of Ancaster in the 19 to his outside in the fourth starting spot from Caledonia, the 360. That's Kevin Thorne. Going from fifth from Smithville, the 6X, Mike Serentakos. And from the sixth spot, Mike Evers out of Caledonia in the 265. Matt Newell lines up in the seventh spot in car number 2. And Ryan Hiller out of New Hamburg in the 21H. Green flag is out. And they all fan out going into corner 1.
DeBoer on the outside, net number 9. Kyle Wirt down the bottom, the green and white number 19, and they will lead the way down the backstretch with Thorne trying to keep pace into turn 3.
Tim DeBoer, he was part of the championship fight 1 week ago. So was that white and green number 19 of Kyle Wirt. They race down into corner 1. They are 1 and 2. That number 19 car now I see is for sale. Saw that listed this week after top 3 in the standings.
I wonder if he's going to build something different or if he's going to hang it up. A great season. 5 feature wins this year for Kyle Wirt in that number 19.
Rides in the second spot with Kevin Thorne in behind him. And look at these mini stocks all working up on that top side line, seeing, like you said, a different track than we've seen all year.
Very smooth racing surface up there. You can see the cars aren't bouncing around very much at all. They can take a set going into the turn and drive right on through.
Tim DeBoer leads at the cross flags, 3 and 3 to go in heat race number 1 of 2 for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Points are completed for the year, so it's just a fun exhibition race basically tonight for these drivers. And here comes Kyle Wirt to the inside of Tim DeBoer.
Points and perfect attendance are over, so some drivers electing to hang it up after last week, Greg, but we got a pretty good feel of the cars nonetheless.
DeBoer leads. Wirt there in second and Thorne in third. Matt Newell's done a nice job working up from the back of the pack. He won the championship a year ago in that car.
Ryan Hiller had a great first lap as well. He got right up into that top 5 and then he kind of stalled out. But then again, you look at the cars that are in front of him, they're pretty top shelf competition.
1 lap left to go for Tim DeBoer in the Tim Sonato number 9. Carried that Alan Kulwicki paint scheme all season long as he leads it into corner 3. Kyle Wirt's going to try one last shot.
Wirt up to the outside. He'll try to turn it down the banking to give him a run to the checkered flag, but it'll be DeBoer ahead of Wirt, Thorne, Newell, Hiller, and Serentakos.
Heat race number 2 about to make its way out onto the speedway. In tonight's program brought to you by Burger Barn and Bradshaw Brothers. The night before the Nationals, an annual tradition. HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, heat race number 2 going from the pole from Linden, Ontario, the 11E, that's Jeff Elslager. And going from second, the champion here in 2019 from Hagersville, the 23, that's Dusty DeBoer. Going from third out of Port Colborne in the 14L, John Lubick. And starting in the fourth spot, first time winner 1 week ago, Tristan De Silva. He'll go from the fourth spot. He's from Waterdown.
And we got a malfunction on the right front of the Elslager 11.
Do a little snow plowing there for Elslager. He was second, I believe, last week. Ended up on the pad, but he's going to end up in the pits here before this one starts. Ashton Dickey aboard the 46, the usual ride for Wade Thorne. So Ashton Dickey having a turn here. He's from Brantford. Sean Toddy is in the Fabio Oliveri number 16 tonight. And Matthew Moore from Port Hope, regular down at the Brighton Speedway in the 14M. And Brian Wilson from Hillsborough, Hillsburg in the 1. That's Jason Tolton's normal ride.
Down off of turn 2, DeBoer with a good run down the banking. He'll lead the way down the back straightaway. Tristan De Silva looking to follow through, but Lubick closed that door. He'll run in the second spot, and De Silva back there battling with Moore for third.
DeBoer, Lubeck, and De Silva. 1, 2, 3. Moore works his way up into the 4th spot. He's made a handful of appearances here at Ohsweken in 2019, as now he'll feel some pressure from that 16 machine. Sean Iftati, who started the season here, and I didn't realize until tonight he'd sold his car and has been racing in the Mod Light division.
Well, and he was racing Mod Lights all along, and he actually thought his driving of the mini stock might have been affecting his performance in the Mod Light, and they would be drastically different cars to drive. Had the opportunity to sell his car, and he did. Halfway through, 3 laps down, 3 laps to go as Lubeck gets sideways in 3. That allows Tristan De Silva to get around, but he's still getting a good run off the corner, and Lubeck will challenge down into 1 and 2. Oh, Moore had a run as Lubeck was up the track. Lubeck came back down the track, and they came together. Moore goes around. Ashton Dickey saw what was happening, and he locked it down to avoid contact. Whoa, big one out of turn 4. Lubeck around and contacted by Brian Wilson in the number 1. So Brian Wilson going to limp that car towards the pit area. As we have a look at the replay, down between 3 and 4, Lubeck got sideways, nowhere for Wilson to go, and he teed him up good.
Well, guys, just want to jump in about the track. Jordan and the guys and the girls have done an amazing job getting this track ready in difficult conditions. You know, they didn't know how much water to put on it, as the weather could have come in earlier or later. They've given us a great start to Nationals weekend here, so congrats to them. Just to comment on Kyle Wirt, he was inquiring about a Thunder stock the other day, guys, so not for sure where he's going to end up, but they is in the discussions.
I think that would really suit his driving style, personally. So does the mini stock, for that matter.
Nearly 70 cars signed in for tomorrow's event. 50 have signed in for tonight. So I was a little bit worried this afternoon, guys, how many were actually going to pull out of the box and go for it. But 50 have decided to qualify for tonight's 45 positions, which is going to be a wild one.
I think it'll be a great show. I mean, watching the practice sessions, Clinton, and quite often, we rarely announce the practice sessions. We just kind of sit up here, get ready for the night, take inventory of who's doing what. This racetrack was a handful for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, I've not seen, as you said, this wide, this slick, this smooth, no cushion at all for them to bump on. And we'll talk about that as the weekend goes on. Here we go. Dusty DeBoer, recently crowned the champ. Going to lead him off to turn number 1.
Yeah, top 2 in this one were major players in the race 1 week ago, with Dusty DeBoer clinching the title, and that youngster behind him, Tristan De Silva, got a very, very popular first win.
Pretty exciting victory lane for that one as we see the white flag one more lap. I'm really impressed with Matthew Moore in this qualifier, Greg.
Yeah, he's come here and he's had some misfortune in the times that he's raced here, but this is the best. We've seen that 14M hanging up there with some of the top competitors in this division.
Absolutely true. As they race off at turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. DeBoer, De Silva, Iftati, Moore, Lubeck, and Dickey.
Of course, we'll get to see plenty of Matthew Moore next weekend as Applefest weekend takes place down at the Brighton Speedway. 2 nights of big racing, Friday and Saturday. Go to BrightonSpeedway.com if you want to check that out. Plenty of dirt car sportsmen, small block modifieds there, late models, vintage cars, the UMP Canadian Modified Challenge races, Thunderstock, the duel on the dirt. It is now the finale, as it has been in the past. Unfortunately, it becomes the finale again because Southern Ontario Motor Speedway was supposed to host it this year, but now that they are closed for the season, these cars that you see right here will be a part of Applefest, and usually one of the absolute best features of the weekend, and we're ready with their first of 2 qualifying heats.
And if you get a chance to go to Applefest, take it, go watch that race. It is a blast. Heat race number 1 on the pole from Brantford is Casey Huffman in the 13, alongside from Ohsweken in the 24 is Blake Bomberry Jr. Starting third from Caledonia, the 55 is Mike Thorne, and alongside him from Six Nations in the A1, Spencer General Thomas. Car number 11, he comes from Thorold, is Go Fast Teeple behind the wheel of the 11. Starting sixth out of Caledonia, the 21X is Mark Bazine. Starting seventh from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman, alongside his son, also from Caister Center, the 28D of Donnie Lampman. The 38 is Frank Turkey from Ohsweken, and the 84 is Ryan Beagle from Victoria.
Green flag in the air, and man, they get on it quickly down into corner number 1 with Mike Thorne working the bottom. Blake Bomberry on the outside line. Very fast cars in this first heat.
Bomberry with a good run on the high side. He'll slide it up into 3 and 4 and use that banking for forward momentum off of 4. He'll lead lap 1.
Good racing back in the 4th spot on back. Casey Huffman, Go Fast Teeple. There's a couple of drivers that really showed some speed at times this year.
Go Fast Teeple came out of the box strong, had a bunch of weeks that were just disappointing, and a lot of it was mechanical troubles. But that 11 machine has been fast, the Beamsville Fish and Chips ride.
3-car battle at the front. Mark Bazine will slide up into the lead, but Bomberry hanging on the outside. Teammate to Bazine, that Burger Barn 55 of Mike Thorne right there in that 3rd spot. He works the bottom now and is trying to get back by Bomberry and set his sights on the leader.
That is an awesome 3-car battle down there for the lead. Jim Lampman has cleared the pack behind. He's in the 4th spot. Don't know if he has enough time to close in, although they're just now taking the halfway time.
Mark Bazine, Mike Thorne, and Blake Bomberry. 1, 2, 3. We get a shot of that second turn camera angle. You can see how nice and smooth, how many different lanes there are right now to race. And these guys are showing us how good the racing is going to be here tonight. Bazine works it off of corner 4, this time to lead lap number 5.
Jim Lampman has caught Blake Bomberry in the 24. That's a battle for the 3rd spot. Lampman going to look to the inside through turn number 2. He'll draw up to the driver's door down the back straightaway, but Bomberry throws it deeper into turn 3.
2 laps left to go for Mark Bazine over Mike Thorne. Side by side now is Bomberry and Jim Lampman. That's the battle for that 3rd position. Go Fast Teeple and Ryan Beagle right behind them door to door.
Ryan Beagle started at the back of this pack. He has closed in quite a bit, but the leaders just had too much of a head start, I think, Greg.
Yeah, they pulled out awful quick, and now we're seeing the challenge for that 3rd spot. Jim Lampman works on the inside of Blake Bomberry. Half a lap to go for the leader, but it's side by side for that 3rd spot.
Great battles back there, Lampman and Bomberry, Teeple and Beagle, but at the front, Mark Bazine takes the checkers. Following him across is Mike Thorne. Then it'll be Lampman, Bomberry, Beagle, Teeple, Huffman, and Lampman.
Well, guys, as that 55 of Mike Thorne continued to roll around, the right rear from my position on the inside, because he was glowing red like one of the carbon fiber sprint car brakes. So we'll have to take a look at the brakes on the 55 of Mike Thorne as the right rear glowing absolutely red from the under part of the car.
Mike Cura said that I need to tell Steve and Jamie that they need a cartwheel from the Ice Mobile. The Ice Mobile is open for business behind the announce tower. Good chance to get some ice cream or a frozen treat down there. I don't think we mentioned that yet tonight, but
it's always implied.
Ice cream is year-round here in Canada.
So the starting lineup for this Thundersock Heat Race number 2. On the pole from Guelph, the 79 is Chris Hale. Outside of him from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. Starting 3rd from Hamilton, the 07 is Brian Pichetti. Starting 4th from Merlin, the 4B is Brian Brady. Trevor DeBoer drives the number 23. He's from Hagersville. Also from Hagersville, the number 8 of Ryan Denny. 25 comes from Hamilton. That's Kenny Sargent. 49 from Hagersville is Dave Bailey, and rounding out the field in the number 2, it's Ryan Barry.
Logan Schwedick. Oh, around goes Rowitsky.
Nope.
Sorry.
Brian Brady.
Brian Brady and the 4B, rather. And he will go to the pit area. We stay green.
So if he gets crossed up and 3 cars gather in and come to a stop, is that a Brady bunch?
Wow.
Nailed it.
But don't bunch.
I'm here all weekend, folks.
Try the steak. Schwedick leads. He's pulling away from second place Ken Sargent and Chris Hale. Hale, really, we've documented this plenty. Had a rough start to the season with that crash down in Southern Ontario Motor Speedway and picked up his game late in the season, and he's showing that speed now, but a little too late in the year.
Speaking of speed, how about Brian Pachetti in that 07? He was fast enough to dump Chris Hale going into turn 1.
Pretty slick with that.
I wanted to continue the thought.
So that will bring up the caution with Hale around in corner number 2.
And you know what? Brian Pachetti was turning fast laps, and I think, you push it a little more. I don't think he really meant to cause a lot of misfortune there, but he's got to be responsible for his front bumper. As we look at the video of it, it tells the story.
Well, what's Chris Hale going to do now on the backstretch? Will he? Well, just drives by.
It's a heat race in September. Maybe if it's a couple of guys that have been battling all year with bad blood.
I get mad at a 4-way stop, so this. I would have ruined that guy's back bumper. That's me. I have anger issues.
J.R. Fitzpatrick still had the best quote I heard all year when Matt Pritico, he was mad. He thought Matt Pritico took him out, and that's debatable. But I said, well, are you going to get payback? He said, I'm not going to ruin my day to ruin his day. But if I'm having a bad day, he better watch out.
Yes, Aaron Rowitsky says he's at home watching on the couch. Sorry. Counting his feathers.
We get Rowitsky comments from the greatest places. I think we've had them from houseboats floating down the river on race night, keeping up with the action.
3 wide for the top spot. The champion for the 5th year in a row is right in the thick of it there. Dave Bailey in the 49.
And this looks to me like a feature race kind of track. Like, this is the way the track normally would be late in the night after there's been a lot of races on it. Wide and smooth and slickened out a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised to see these 4 cars right in the thick of the lead tonight in the feature as well. Schwedick, Sargent, Bailey, and Denning. They were all part of it 1 week ago. And how about the weekend for Dave Bailey last weekend? Swept the Niagara region.
It's not a bad weekend, is it?
He has definitely had another banner year aboard that Brewster Baker paint scheme.
Long live Kenny Rogers.
2 laps left to go for Logan Schwedick in the Advantage Electric number 53. He leads him into corner 1. Sargent right there on the inside of him. Bailey works right down close to the wall, but they get the straightaway. They all tuck back in line.
3 wide battle off of turn number 4. Schwedick on the high side. Sargent in the middle. They'll string to single file down the front straightaway.
Here comes Sargent working that inside line on Schwedick as they go down the backstretch. Bailey now is going to look to the higher line. Now we'll dive down in corner number 3. Got a good run. He'll work to the inside of Sargent at the line. Schwedick over Sargent, Bailey, Denning, and Hale. That's your top 5. Pachetti will cross the line in the 6th spot. So that will conclude qualifying for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Six heats in total here tonight for the 360 sprint cars. 8 laps will be the distance. The 6 winners of the heats transfer tonight to the A mains, the triple A's, and then the top 39 in passing points will also transfer into the A mains. So that's how we'll set the fields tonight. 45 cars in the 3 A mains So 5 cars tonight will go home. Starting lineup for heat race number 1, going from the pole out of Scotland, Town Line Variety, Ackland Insurance, Ties Tree Service, 87X, Sean Evans. Alongside him from Ohsweken, the Nitro 54 Variety, Ackland Insurance, Big Dog Wing Sauce, number 15, Dan Nanico. Going from the 3rd position from St. Mathieu de Beloeil, Quebec, in the Foundation's Four Saisons, RG Aluminum, Stellaire Ventilation, number 28, Jordan Poirier. And from the 4th starting position, the winner 1 week ago from Rockwell, Texas, and the Original Traders Energy, Town Line Variety, Hybriders Foundation Service, 15H, Sam Haferteeth. Going from the 5th position, out of Belleville, Ontario, in the Elbrock Excavating, 84, Tyler Rand. And alongside him from Lima, Ohio, in the Jared Horseman Racing, number 17M, that'll be Max Stambaugh. Lighting up 7th, out of Wilsonville, Ontario, the 10-line Variety, Original Traders Energy, Eric Waugh, Hereford Farm, 77X, the Six Nations Sensation, Alex Hill. Going from 8th, out of St. Williams, the D&W Group, Wooly Lamb, Gales Auto Aftermarket, 21 of John Burbridge Jr. And starting in 9th, out of Ohsweken, the Ohsweken Speedway Enrium Dynamics, number 0, the return of the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. Glenn Stiers making his return. The Hoddock Racing Stables preparing that car, I'm being told.
Well, we'll talk about it after the heat, Greg. Quite a story there going on. We'll bring in this wild one, and then we'll talk about the 0.
Going to the green flag in our first of 6 qualifying heats, 8 laps the distance. Green flag in the air, and they will all race down into corner 1.
Good start out front for Sean Evans. Same with Dan Nanico. He got off to a bit of a sluggish launch, but he's up on the wheel now. Sam Haferteeth marred back in the 4th spot. Now he'll pick up 3rd.
Side by side back for position number 4 as you got Jordan Poirier and Max Stambaugh. Stambaugh gets down low, throws the slider on Poirier, moves into the 4th position as Alex Hill will pull off into the pit area.
Dan Nanico holding a pretty wheel right now. He's holding off one of the best in the business in Sam Haferteeth, and I think made a good choice on line there as well in turn 4. Good for you, Dan Nanico.
Doing a nice job. Brand new paint scheme on that car. It's got a little extra shine on it here tonight. The Nitro 54 Variety Ride. Cross flags up. Sean Evans leads the way over Nanico. Haferteeth in that battle for that 4th spot continues on between Stambaugh and Poirier.
Dan Nanico is pulling away from Haferteeth and closing in on Sean Evans.
Great run for Dan Nanico as Evans works it off of 4, leads lap number 5. Nanico in tow ahead of Haferteeth. Now Stambaugh has cleared Poirier. Poirier, hit a bump there in 2. Really goes up the track and loses distance.
Down into 3 and 4. Everybody around the bottom of the track now from 2nd on back in 3 and 4. Sean Evans still working that high groove.
This time by, it'll be the white flag for the driver to Scotland, Ontario. Out of the Hills Racing Stables and Nathan Ackland Racing Group. There they are going in through corner 2. It's a good battle for 2nd. Stambaugh worked past Haferteeth, now to the inside of Nanico.
Dan Nanico on the high side. Stambaugh on the low side. Sean Evans with the win. Nanico 2nd, Stambaugh 3rd, Haferteeth, then Poirier. Greg, in the grand scheme of things, 5 years from now, you'll look back and there will be nothing special about this heat race finish when you look down the list. But I dare say this is one that Dan Nanico is going to remember till the day he retires from racing.
Yeah, he's made a statement already this year with his improved driving, but he was holding off Sam Haferteeth and beat him and beat out Max Stambaugh at the line as well.
And Max Stambaugh got to the inside off of 2, and he got the line he wanted down through 3 and 4, and he still held him off. So Glenn Stiers getting pushed back. Clinton Jeffrey, what do you got about that?
Well, we're standing over here with Rick, and Rick from Strickland's. Rick, what do we see on the ground there? A milky puddle, which tells us what?
We got a problem.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. Glenn Stiers looked really good out there on the start, jumped to the bottom, made some runs, but yeah, a big puddle of milky fluid down here. Looks like the oil and water are mixing. A horrible sign for the driver of the 0G.
Well, and if it's in a puddle under the car, it's blowed up.
It's different than the Milky Way puddle you produce up here at the tower.
Just want to talk about that. That was a big secret. Glenn didn't tell anybody. The family, the daughters, Tina, nobody knew he bought a car and was coming to race. But we did. So we'll see if he puts a motor in, guys, and continues with the weekend, or if he calls it a night.
Heat race number 2 onto the Speedway, going from the pole from London, the 4-wide design Speedy Auto Machine number 15F, the president, Mike Farrell, alongside from Beamsville, the Park Source, Janie Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax, 88H, Josh Hansen. Going for position number 3 out of Kitchener in the Nitro 54 variety, MMBO Direct Marketing Creative Edge car number 9, that is Steve Lyons. And going from the 4th spot from Bradenton, Florida, in the Amaleaf Oil number 28M, Connor Morrell. Connor Morrell in the 28M. Going from 5th out of Canfield, Ontario, the Jason Enterprises Body Line Auto Recycler CS Contracting 46 of Kevin Pauls. Going from 6th from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, the Foundations 55, number 55 of Mark Smith. Going from the 7th spot from Kokomo, Indiana, the Victor Games Originals Traders Energy number 67X, Parker Price Miller, the law firm. And going from 8th out of Clay, New York, Joe Trenka in the Mucci Motorsports FK Roddins number 98 machine. Green is out. They thunder down into 1.
Wow. Mike Farrell did not realize Josh Hansen was on the outside. He saw Steve Lyons on the inside, squeezed up into Hansen. Hansen did a nice job to get out of the throttle while rubbing along the wall and not wreck that car.
3 wide into the 3rd corner as they work it now off of corner number 4. Your leader at the line is Steve Lyons. Then you got Mark Smith riding back there. And then Connor Morrell, the first time we've seen him here at Ohsweken Speedway. Josh Hansen has more problems, gets off track up in corner 2, gets back on it on the backstretch.
Down off of turn 4, Lyons go. Oh, we've got one around, one making contact. And a quick 360. That's Farrell and Pauls.
I really thought Kevin Pauls was going to go over there. That was a quick whip around, and it broke the front end. You can see the heavy damage in the right front, but could have been a whole lot worse. I thought it was about to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't make hard contact like that with a sprint car very often and keep the car on its wheels. And Kevin Pauls has done such a nice job this year to keep that car in one piece and pick up his pace.
Well, guys, we got a front Nerf crash bar here on the Farrell 15 is the only damage he sustains that we can see. Kevin Pauls has got a ton of problems here on this body line 46. All the torsion rack is knocked out, the front end is broken, and Pauls had nowhere to go as Farrell lost it right in front of him. In 3 and 4, Kevin Pauls' night will be done here, guys.
Got a good view from Sean Robertson's camera there at the tail end of that spin. If you're new here to Ohsweken Speedway, you can use your phone. Go to the Ohsweken Speedway Facebook page. You get a great shot of the replays throughout the night.
Also, if you do have your phone, you can also go to YouTube. Go to the Ohsweken Live YouTube page, because on YouTube you can actually go back in time. I don't know, so you can go back from the live stream on Facebook or not. I haven't tried that, but I
want to go back in time to the 90s.
I know on YouTube you can go back and to the last 5 minutes or whenever you want and actually review and replay.
No, not you?
No, I don't at all.
90s were great. At the time, I didn't realize how great they were.
Well, guys, we'll get the Kevin Pauls car out of here. Quick track report, as you can see. We talk about it flopping over. None of those flaps going on here today. Perfectly smooth right to the top. And we are ready to go back to it. They've already dropped the lights. I better get out of here. But this track is amazing tonight, guys.
Clint, do we have double file restarts this weekend?
Double file all the way through, guys. Lap cars will go to the back. We'll have a lucky dog on every caution in the features this weekend.
Wow, is there going to be a chase?
It's playoffs, Adam. Get it right. Mark Smith through the middle, grabs the lead away from Steve Lyons, and look at the law firm. Parker Price Miller had to jam on the binders there.
Yeah, he's committed to the outside and keeping his momentum up. Steve Lyons a little bit more cautious down on the bottom. Mark Smith out in front, but Steve Lyons not giving up, giving chase in that low groove.
Parker Price Miller trying to work by the 9 machine. Last time we saw that car, it was in victory lane with Christopher Bell behind the wheel. Parker Price Miller moves into the second spot. Now with 3 laps left to go, he'll have a chance to chase down Mark Smith.
Mark Smith holding a pretty wheel, although he got the car plenty sideways that time between 3 and 4.
2 laps left to go, and Parker Price Miller off the banking and corner 2 again, just like he did in hot laps.
Wow, Mark Smith, one of the first drivers we've seen all night, able to hold it up on the outside of the racetrack like that through 1 and 2. A little bit lower in 3 and 4 as he heads for the checkered flag. He takes the win over Parker Price Miller, Steve Lyons, Josh Hansen.
Connor Morell back there in the 28. And Joe Trinka. It's Mark Smith out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, picks up the win in heat race number 2. 6 qualifying heats in total. Heat race 3 lineup goes like this from the pole from Sussex, New Jersey in the Dave Franek Auto Sales Rapid Tire Escape RV 28F, Davey Franek. Going from spot number 2, the only Canadian ever to win the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals out of St. Matthew de Beloeil in the Four Seasons Foundation Industries FM Mega Pumping 28 FM, the Fireball, Steve Poirier. Going from 3rd out of Cloverdale, Ohio, the M&W Construction Scott Miller Trucking 17. That is Jared Horseman. And rolling off from the 4th position from Dorchester, the Ohsweken Speedway Case IH Stonehouse General Contracting number 1 of Holly Porter. Starting in position number 5 from London in the Pinewood Horticulture, BS&B Radiator Extreme Metalworks number 7, Caleb Wood. And alongside him in the 6th spot from Tonawanda, New York, the Fiberworks Composite, Brady Electric number 7NY, that is Matt Farnham. Starting 7th from Brantford, the Hills Tire and Gas, Brown Auto Service, Little Bend 110, Jake Brown. And going from 8th from Port Colborne, the Galetta Flooring, number 22 of Alan Galetta.
Another stout heat race lineup as they work through 3 and 4. Now, in recent weeks, they were having conversations at the drivers' meetings about drivers jumping the start. That was a little bit early there, but it looks like Doug Leonard going to let it go.
Boy, that ride tonight for Steve Poirier is a showpiece. It is shining in the bright lights here at Ohsweken Speedway. The Fireball checking out the man that has been so strong here in the Nationals.
Yeah, Poirier has an impeccable record here at the Nationals. Look at that battle from 2nd right back through 6th on the racetrack. Davey Franek has the 2nd spot, and then Horseman, Porter, Farnham, Brown.
Poirier, a 3-time winner of this Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, the Saturday night show. First and only Canadian to do it. And he has checked out from Davey Franek. Jared Horseman right there behind him. Jake Brown, Matt Farnham, and Holly Porter are there in a fight of their own.
Farnham running that middle groove out there. Horseman under it. Well, Horseman has got around Franek. Now Franek going to have to try to hold off Brown and Farnham. To go, 2 more trips around as Steve Poirier is just flying out here in this qualifier. Horseman up to 2nd, Farnham in 3rd, then it's Franek and Jake Brown. Brown making good time on the bottom of the racetrack.
White flag displayed for the Fireball. Steve Poirier works it down the front stretch into corner number 1. Horseman into 2nd. Farnham right up there in 3rd, gaining plenty of passing points.
Yeah, that should be a good outing for Farnham with passing points. So the winner is locked into the front, and then they go by. Kaboom.
That car's on fire down in corner number 1 for Steve Poirier. It looks like the fire may have extinguished itself.
Well, it's hard to tell. Do they all run that additive, Greg? In the fuel?
I don't know if it's mandated or not, but.
Yeah, it's not on fire right now. Steve Poirier pretty calm inside the race car, but a great response time by the rescue crew.
That old adage, goes the fastest right before it blows up. That might have been the case for the Fireball, Steve Poirier.
Well, guys, he did win the qualifying heat race right as it went up in flames.
Well, if you're here to race for the big money and the accolades tomorrow night, you're probably quietly happy. If you're going to break a motor, break it on the preliminary night. I'm sure they've got another bullet in the gun. So they'll go back to the trailer. Kevin Lovey's and the crew will get straight to work. It wouldn't surprise me to see him back out here tonight. Certainly, they should be able to get things sorted out for tomorrow.
Well, they just called all the cars. That race, as we mentioned, was completed. That'll put our 7th heat race in the books, and we will get ready to go with a few more here with the sprint cars. We're going to keep hustling right on through. No intermission tonight, so if you want to drink or something to eat, you might want to go down and get it. Grab your 50-50 tickets. We're at a guaranteed 500 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's looking like a beautiful day, so we're ready for an awesome Saturday at the Nationals. Tech will begin at 9:30 in the morning. Back in the pit area, we've got to get 70 cars almost through Tech before it closes around 4 o'clock.
Had a good chance to get down there and get some of that Pinty's delicious food down at the concession area. Speed Shop open for business, and we have that 2019 Canadian Sprint Car Nationals Souvenir Apparel if you're looking for some hoodies, sweatshirts, T-shirts, some new hats in stock, and the Image Factor photography booth open down there now. If you're looking for a photo magnet of your favorite driver, Dirt Track Nation apparel down there as well. I don't believe Western Survivor is here. We didn't get any free samples tonight, so no. Western Survivor will be here tomorrow night with the beef jerky.
Oh, poor Greg doesn't have his dried sausage fingers.
Unfortunately, he had no help for tonight to run the booth, and of course, Port Dover having their Friday the 13th, he couldn't pass that up. So, 4th qualifying heat on the Speedway for the 360 sprint cars. The lineup will look like this. Going from the pole from Brantford in the CarQuest Auto Parts, Brown Auto Sales. Car number 10B, downtown, Mitch Braun. Going from the 2nd spot from Jarvis in the Mike Eric Dodge Chrysler, Emma Smoke Shop, Modern Auto Parts 8. That'll be the Hurricane, Hannah Farrell. Starting in spot number 3 aboard car number 3 from Lowville, New York, the Precision Seal Coating Westward Painting Company. Car number 3, Denny Peebles, and going from 4th from Thetford, Ontario, the Jennifer Hatch Coldwell Banker, Tim's Lawn Care, Dykstra Racing Engines 5D, Shane Ross. Starting in 5th from Port Colborne, the Goleta Flooring 22, Sean Slider. And to his outside, starting 6th from Brewerton, New York, the 87 Speed Shop, E&V Energy, X1 Race Cars, 87 Racing, Jason Barney. Going from the 7th position from North Granby, Connecticut, the Lucky's Trailer Sales, Brignall Vineyards, 91H, that's Scott Holcomb. And going from 8th out of Wapakoneta, Ohio, the Ferris Commercial Mowers Royal Purple 23, Devin Doby. It is quite a sight to watch them thunder in the corner 1 in these heat races. It'll be even more intense tomorrow night.
Exactly. Holcomb did not make the call. I don't believe he was out for practice and not out for his heat race either.
Lap number 1 goes on the books, and it is downtown. Mitch Braun out in front. Denny Peebles with a head of steam. Rockets down the backstretch. Shoots by Barney, trying to reel in the leader.
Nice run by Peebles. Mitch Braun was fast in practice as well in that CarQuest number 10. He works the bottom of the racetrack. Peebles in the more traditional Ohsweken line up high. but I like seeing Mitch Braun. Look at his brake rotor is glowing already in that 10 machine, so using the brakes to steady that car in the turns.
It's the name Downtown Mitch Braun for that reason right there. So good, so smooth on the bottom, works that car to perfection. Cross flags in the air, 4 in, 4 to go with Peebles hot and heavy behind Downtown Mitch Braun.
And man, oh man, he is beautiful in turns 1 and 2. Struggling a little bit more in 3 and 4, and he's actually going to change his line. He goes up the racetrack a bit in 3 and 4, but that extreme bottom in 1 and 2 is treating him very well.
He's been able to pull away from Denny Peebles, who was marching closer to the front, now drifting back. That's a good run going right now for Sean Slider as well, up in the 4th spot.
What the heck just flew off of that?
Not sure what that was.
Hannah Farrell, number 8. It's sitting on the inside of the racetrack.
Wondered if it was part of the nose wing or not, but on the right side, no.
No.
Oh, it's the side panel to the her left shoulder. There's still a piece flapping backwards.
I see. Yep.
And the other half is laying down here on the front stretch. Checkered flag coming out. Downtown Mitch Braun.
Look at the lead he built.
Strongest he's been all year long. Picks up the win over Peebles, Barney, Slider. That'll be Shane Ross, Devin Doby, and Hannah Farrell. That will be the finishing order in heat race number 4. So Downtown Mitch Braun gets it done in heat race 4.
How nice would it be for the locals if the Browns can have a good run here this weekend?
Yeah, that would be huge. That's the best that we've seen Mitch run all year. Not that he's been off his game. In fact, he's really turned it up back to where we're used to seeing him. But that was an impressive run by Mitch Braun, pulling away from someone like Denny Peebles and racing Jason Barney, who's no slouch here either.
No, that'll feel good when he rolls into the pits to the attention of his dad, Doug Braun.
Fifth qualifying heat ready to come out of the speedway, going from the pole from Bradford, Pennsylvania, the bundle of warmth. McCourt's Auto Body, Performance Powder Coating, 35 the Juice, Jared Zimbardi. Rolling off second from Cleveland, Ohio, the 46 group, 46C, that is Ryan Conium. Lining up third, the only driver to qualify for every single A main in the history of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Out of Portland, Michigan, the Sweet Manufacturing, Next Level Graphics, 85 Double D, Dustin Daggett. Starting fourth out of Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms, Burger Barn, Aiken Motors, 91, Ryan Turner. And lining up fifth out of Ohsweken, the Ohsweken Speedway Aero Express, Case IH 68, Aaron Turkey. Starting in sixth out of Charing Cross, ERW Contracting, Tilbury Auto Sales and RV Redneck Garage 9B, that is Scott Burke. And starting in seventh out of Caster Center, the Burger Barn East One Construction, Mobile One Petrol Plus, number 13, that is Cory Turner. And lining up in eighth out of Romulus, New York, the Williams Insurance Canandaigua Seal Coating, and our boys Ford 22P of Jonathan Preston. Want to give a shout out and a get well to Randy Newham. It says get well Ranger on the 9B of Scott Burke. He was injured very seriously this week and is in the hospital right now, so our best wishes to Randy Newham. And a get well message to him on that 9B of Scott Burke. So our thoughts are with him tonight. We see the shot there sent in to us. Get well soon, Ranger. Green is out. The Juice and Ryan Conium race into one.
You know, last time he was here, I was impressed with Ryan Conium. He showed some pretty good speed in that 46, and he crashed hard off of turn number 4, and he took the blame himself, as we are going to have to go yellow as Scott Burke comes to a stop on the backstretch. Oh!
Wow.
Aaron Turkey just went for a wild ride well after the yellow had come out. Again, the safety team is right on the scene. Holy moly, that was a ride.
There are a lot of parts bent up and ripped off of that 68 machine. Dustin Daggett, top wing, completely shredded on that car.
Safety team is on the scene up there.
See Aaron.
Okay, Aaron is moving in the cockpit of the car. He's holding on to that roll cage. That is a great thing. And he is climbing from the car. He just gave the thumbs up to somebody. The way that safety crew was reacting, something was urgent over there. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene as well, as Aaron Turkey's starting to get his gear unbuckled and unstrapping that helmet.
I kind of had the same concern you did, just the way they were reacting, and good to see him out.
Well, guys, Aaron came over to check on Dustin Daggett. They both said, "You okay?" "Yeah, man, you okay?" They're both good. That's a good sign, but Aaron's car is a mess. The Daggett machine going to need a new front wing and no top wing, but other than that, it looks okay. The suspension looks pretty good on it. Looks like Aaron just rolled right over the wings here on the 85. The Turkey car is a mess, though, guys.
I don't know, Clint, if you saw that. I didn't see the very beginning of it, but I saw most of it. We're going to have a look at this replay here. So down the front straightaway, wow, and Dave Stiers was focused right on the Turkey number 68. Daggett pitches the car into the turn, and Turkey was there.
That was literally just two cars coming together in the same spot, just driving into, because you can see Aaron moving up just a bit, and Daggett's front end coming down.
Show that again, Spencer, if you're able. Watching them down the front stretch.
No, actually didn't. I thought Aaron had moved up a bit, but
yeah, and that's I was trying to understand the line, and you could see Dustin duck in his race car as Aaron Turkey was flipping up over his roll cage, and I don't blame him one bit. Clinton Jeffrey leaning into Dustin's race car.
Dustin, what did you see there? Looked like he took out both your wings, but the car rolling looks like everything's all right.
Yeah, I don't think we got anything major here. Of course, our night's done now, but we were just both going for the same real estate, I think, and I don't think he realized I was going to go in and go to the bottom. So, sucks. He wrecked hard, man. I'm glad he's okay.
All right, there you have it from Dustin Daggett, guys, and he's going to get shoved off back to the pits. You can see his top wing is mangled. He's actually holding it up for the safety crew to get this one as they work on getting the Turkey machine here up on the back, and it is mangled piece, guys.
You know what's amazing, Clint? As fast as that all happened, what Dustin Daggett just described is exactly what we see on the replay. Would you say so, Greg?
yeah, I think that's an accurate description. Two guys going for the same spot.
And like he said, he doesn't think Aaron Turkey realized he was going to commit to the bottom, and we saw it earlier this season, remember, with Scott Kruger and Dylan Westbrook. Different but similar. And we're hearing Denny Peebles disqualified from the previous heat for an illegal front wing. Again, one of those things you're going to be glad you dealt with on the Friday night rather than have this issue Saturday. I don't think this would be an issue tomorrow because I believe that would be something they would catch in the pre-tech.
Yeah. Good backstretch shot there. The new Petro Plus travel stop number 13 of Cory Turner. Brought that car out last Friday night, and he looked stout. As good as I've seen Cory Turner, he was able to get past Dylan Westbrook, stay ahead of him. And I'm sure Cory's thinking of all nights for Sam Haferteep to show up and start from the pole and win. But Cory, man, he looks so good in that car.
He does
excited
so.
about the new chassis.
Did you talk about this message? I don't think we've ever given this type of a shout out before.
I haven't been following here, sorry.
Shout out to Steph and Kale being on their first date at the Big O. You rarely get the Big O on a first date. Well, have you ever heard of someone coming to Ohsweken Speedway for their first date?
I mean, it's out there now. Everybody knows. Everyone's going to be asking, how'd it go?
We also need to wish Carrie Russell a happy birthday. So we'll double them up. One lap is complete. set the field and try this once again.
So the Juice, Jared Zimbardi, alongside Ryan Conium will bring us back to the green flag. The Turner boys right behind them. And then the 22, Jordan Preston. Those are the 5 cars remaining as Conium and the Turners go at it. Ryan Turner on the bottom side. Conium now charging on to the back end of Zimbardi. Good racing in the front.
Conium got a little bit higher in 1 and 2 than I think he wanted to, and he's done it again, but getting a good run off the turn, but now he's got his work cut out for him. But out in front, it's all Zimbardi, leaving the Turner brothers to duke it out for second.
Cory Turner on the outside in that black 13 on the bottom. His brother Ryan Turner now cuts up in front of him just barely, and lots of room though, says Cory. I'll scoot on by on the outside and grab second.
Halfway through this one, and Zimbardi's not really pulling away. The Turner brothers might be closing the gap on our race leader.
Jared Zimbardi leads the way over Cory Turner. Ryan Turner still tucked into that 3rd spot. Jordan Preston digging on the inside line now on Turner. 5 complete, 3 to go.
Cory Turner a couple tenths slower that lap than was the leader Zimbardi. The previous lap, Turner was faster than Zimbardi, but just 2 laps to go in this heat.
Cory Turner's going to be in a spot for a ton of passing points here. Lined up in the 7th starting spot right now in 2nd, coming to the white flag. He's closed the gap a little bit on Zimbardi.
1 more lap to go, and how reassuring would it be to have a locked-in spot tomorrow night if he can win one of these triple 15s.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkers coming out, and the win will go to the Juice. Jared Zimbardi for Cory Turner. Jonathan Preston with a good run up to the 3rd spot. Ryan Turner 4th, and Ryan Conium slides back to the 5th spot after lining up on the front row. Jared Zimbardi out of Bradford, Pennsylvania. The Juice gets it done in qualifying heat race number 5. 1 more qualifying heat to go for the sprint cars, and then we'll be right into feature time for the mini stocks, thunder stocks, and then our triple 15s.
Something we haven't asked Clinton, if we get through all 6 of these heats, and for some reason weather does move in, will we run the triple 15s to start tomorrow's program?
Hard no.
It just disappears?
It disappears.
I was expecting that exact response.
No, we've been telling everybody this is just an add-on. This night really got started as a way to give all these amazing teams traveling in for tomorrow a bit of extra track time. Then it developed into the test and tune on Thursdays as well. So tonight, yeah, there are those 3 spots, but those spots would just go back into the qualifying pool if they're not claimed tonight. Quick programming note, we will not be stopping at all. There'll be no intermission. There'll be no victory lanes till the absolute end of the program in an effort to blast this one through. So that means our mini stock and thunder stock feature are coming up next. There'll be no victory lanes after those until the end of the sprint cars as we make an attempt to give all you amazing fans the full show tonight as best we can.
Nicely done.
Starting lineup, heat race number 6 looks like this, going from the pole from Port Layton, New York, in the Tioga Construction Westward Painting Company 7C. It'll be Dylan Swiernick. Going from the 2nd position from Port Byron, New York, the Highside Raceway number 2, Dave Axton. Starting 3rd from Harding, Pennsylvania, the Mechanical Service Company, Dr. David Scalzo. Vincent Tire 79 of Jordan Thomas. And rolling off 4th out of Faulkner, New York, in the Orange Crate Brewing, Dave's Auto Body, Todd's Towing 36, Kyle Moffat. Starting 5th out of Scotland, Ontario, the original Traders Energy Sovereign Fusion, Burford Heating and Air Conditioning 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook, and rolling off 6th out of Port Jervis, New York, the Profab 56 of Billy Van Enwigen. Starting 7th out of Bath, Ontario, the RL Asphalt, car number 16L of Roger Levesque. And going from the 8th position, and I don't see him out there, was scheduled to be the 69 of Steve Glover out of Rochester, New York. So 7 cars in this 8-lap qualifying heat. The final, 6th and final qualifier features up next. Great start for Dave Axton on the outside line. Will lead him into corners 1 and 2 with Kyle Moffat in tow.
Yeah, Kyle Moffat timed that really well, but the 3rd and 4th place cars are something to worry about. Dylan Westbrook and Jordan Thomas going to try to give chase.
Axton leads over Moffat, but here comes the track champ, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Goes up to the outside, had to pitch the car and kind of let out of it there.
Well, it looked like Axton was going to run the middle or the bottom the way he pitched that car, and then he ran it around the top, so Westbrook had to scrub off some speed. Now we'll point it to the bottom, make the pass for the lead as we've got one around in 1 and 2. Yeah, and they're not going to keep it running.
Roger Levesque loops it around in corner number 2, and that brings us under the yellow flag. 2 laps in, 6 to go in our 6th and final qualifying heat. So Roger Levesque down around the Kingston area.
Not a lot of sprint car drivers from Kingston. Handful of modified racers.
Yep. Guess the only other ones close by would be the Wilson family, obviously. Rick and
Yeah, from Joyceville.
Joyceville. It's a little ways down the road, though. Rick and April. And, of course, Kyle over the years.
They're far enough apart that they each have their own prison. Did you know there's a Joyceville penitentiary and a Kingston pen?
Is the Kingston pen still open? I thought it was finally.
I think there is a facility there. It's not the same one the Tragically Hip sang about. There's actually a penitentiary museum in Kingston. Pretty cool place. A little bit spooky. Green flag in the air once again, and Dave Axton with a big start out front in that 2 machine. Dylan Westbrook going to try to size him up with that same pass he just made.
Oh, what action at the back, 3 wide. Dylan Swearnick, Jordan Thomas, and Billy Van Endwigen were all part of that. Thomas and Van Endwigen still going at it.
Yeah, they're really battling each other out there, not giving a whole lot of room. It got skinny. Kyle Moffat with smoke out of that orange number 36.
And that car's going to slow up on the front stretch, so bad break for Kyle Moffat. He'll coast it into corner number 1. Can he keep enough momentum to the pit area? That's the question now.
I think he will.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good speed going there, so we continue on. Lap number 5 goes up on the board, 3 to go.
Westbrook out in front of Axton in the number 2. Nice recovery for Dylan Swearnick because he had actually dropped back behind all these guys on the initial start, if I'm not mistaken.
2 laps left to go for leader Dylan Westbrook, who just capped off another championship season. Now the all-time winningest 360 driver here at Ohsweken. He'll see the white flag this time by.
One more time around, the battle on the track is for second. Dave Axton has the spot. Dylan Swearnick wants it. Swearnick down to the bottom, but he scrubbed off a little too much speed in turn 2. Westbrook gonna take the win. Who's gonna finish second?
Out of 4, it's going to be Dave Axton with the momentum over Swearnick, and it's Thomas in 4th. Billy Van Endwigen will come home in the 5th position, and Roger Levesque will cross the line in 6th.
Nice job by the officials and these racers getting these heat races done in a timely fashion. We are going to roll straight into what should be our mini stock feature event.
HRW Automotive Mini Stocks getting set and ready to come out onto the Speedway with their 15-lap main event. Final time they'll see the track here in 2019. Fantastic championship battle we saw 1 week ago. The entire year was excellent for the mini stocks.
Really good racing all year long. You never knew who it was going to be. Kyle Wirt showed blistering speed, but didn't quite have the reliability. So they've come onto the racetrack not entirely in the order we expected. Let's give you the order we thought they should be starting in. On the pole from Caledonia, the number 11 is Mike Giberson. Outside him from York, the 9 is Tim DeBoer. Starting third out of Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. Starting fourth from Caledonia, the 360 is Kevin Thorne. Starting fifth from Smithville, the 6X is Mike Sarantacos. Starting sixth out of Caledonia, the 265 is Mike Evers. Starting seventh is Matt Newell in the number 2. Starting eighth out of New Hamburg, the 21H is Ryan Hiller. Starting ninth from Linden is scheduled to be the 11E of Jeff Elsliger. Starting 10th from Hagersville, the 23 of Dustin DeBoer. Starting 11th from Port Colborne, the 14L is John Lubick. Starting 12th from Waterdown, the 01 is Tristan De Silva. Starting 13th, it's Cheeseburger, Sean Iftati in the 16. Starting 14th from Port Hope, the 14M is Matthew Moore. Starting 15th from Brantford, the 46 is Ashton Dickey. And starting 16th, scheduled to be the driver from Hillsburg, the number 1 of Brian Wilson. So Mike Giberson has gone to the back. It looks like Lubick has gone to the back. That leaves Kyle Wirt out in front in the 19 alongside Tim DeBoer in the number 9.
Green is out for the final time this year for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Kyle Wirt. What an up and down season he had. 5 feature wins, and with 3 weeks to go, looked like a lock to become the champion. And everything possible that could go wrong went wrong for this guy. I'm sure he's out here just for some redemption and see if he can find victory lane one more time.
Well, and I had a chance to chat with him a little bit over Facebook Messenger this week, and that's what we talked about. You know, disappointing to not win a championship, but 5 feature wins is something you can hold your head pretty high about.
Wirt leads the pack into corner 3 with Tim DeBoer in the 2nd spot, and then the race is on for position 3. Kevin Thorne holding off Mike Sarantacos and Ryan Hiller. You know, surprisingly, this rookie driver didn't get a feature win. I really thought that he was going to. He was in contention all season long, but riding there in the 4th spot. Maybe tonight's the night.
And I would agree with you, except surprisingly it's tough to say because there's a dozen drivers that are deserving of wins on any given night, and there's only one that can do it.
So out in front, Kyle Wirt extending his lead just a little bit. 1 or 2 car lengths up over Tim DeBoer. These cars have it wound up on that outside line.
Trouble for the Lubick number 14. He's got a flat right rear tire. He's going to slowly roll that car towards the pits. We will stay under green as 4 laps are complete in this HRW Automotive Mini Stock Feature event.
Have the Lubick 14 into the pit area. Wirt, DeBoer, and Thorne, the top 3. Here comes Matt Newell, the champion from a year ago, challenging for the 4th spot as he looks low on Ryan Hiller off of corner 4.
Newell down low as Thorne looking to make a move on Tim DeBoer for the 2nd spot. All but pushing him down the front straightaway, drops to the bottom in 1 and 2 and give Thorne in that Burger Barn number 360 position number 2.
We're down to complete lap number 6, 9 to go for Kyle Wirt in the Eccles Auto Service. Junkyard Jordan, number 19. Tim DeBoer, Kevin Thorne continuing to battle it out for the 2nd spot. DeBoer now working on the low side. Matt Newell, Ryan Hiller, 4th and 5th.
As Kyle Wirt pitches it way sideways in 3. He's driving that 19 machine pretty hard. We talk about this quite a bit throughout the season, but these cars have no rear view mirror, so there's no way to know how big a lead you may have over 2nd place. So on dirt, you tend to have to keep driving the car just as hard as you can.
Lost flags will be displayed this time by, and Kyle Wirt pulling away at the front, but we're seeing a fantastic battle back. 2nd through 5th, Thorne, Newell, DeBoer, and Hiller.
And then right behind him, you've got Dusty DeBoer in the 0-1 and Tristan De Silva looking to close in and make that a 6-car battle from 2nd all the way back to 7th.
6 laps left to go for Kyle Wirt here in this HRW Automotive Mini Stock Division. Matt Newell has come from a long ways back in this one. He's worked his way up the battle for that 2nd spot down to the inside of Kevin Thorne.
Whoa, Newell Loses the front end of that race car, so slides up on the Thorn machine. Thorn carves it underneath. Try to make the crossover move, but I think Newell's just a little bit too quick.
Newell now will put some distance between himself and Kevin Thorne. And it's Tim DeBoer, Ryan Hiller. And the two guys behind these guys have been side by side pretty much the entire feature. Dusty DeBoer and Tristan De Silva, the newsmakers from 1 week ago.
Great battle back there. Great racing in this mini stock feature event. It'll be 3 laps to go in the mini stock season when they come off of turn number 4 this time.
Kyle, we're trying to finish one out, something he wasn't able to do over the last few races of the season. Probably wondering, now why couldn't we have done this 1 week ago?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. This racing is a sport of shoulda, coulda, woulda.
2 laps left to go for Wirt. Matt Newell has closed the gap, though, really gained ground on the leader. Thorne, Hiller, and Tim DeBoer still at it, and Dusty and Tristan continue to just race side by side.
Close quarters racing, a little bit of rubbing last time through 3 and 4 for De Silva and DeBoer, but up front it's been all Kyle Wirt as they take the white flag. Newell within about 5 car lengths of the leader.
Final time around for Kyle Wirt as Ashton Dickey will pull off in corner number 2 and head to the pit area. Kyle Wirt will slip by the pinball. The gap closes quickly down in 4.
Kyle Wirt gonna bring it off the bottom of turn number 4. Checkered flags in the air. Feature win number 6 for Wirt. Newell gonna come home second, followed by Hiller, Thorne, DeBoer, and De Silva.
Sarantakos, Iftati, Moore crossing the line behind them. Brian Wilson in the 1 machine, and John Lubick in the 14. So again, Victory Lane will be held to the end of the night. As we'll continue on with our next feature event, it's the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division.
You know, when it's little things like that that help to make Ohsweken such a popular spot for the fans, we'd like to welcome Wes from Halifax here with his dad. How about this, Greg Callan? He and his dad have been to at least 1 race every year since 1969. It's not a bad streak. Great to have you here at the Big O. And that's what I was going to say, those little decisions that track management makes, Clinton Jeffrey, Glenn Stiers, Doug Leonard, you know, to keep the show moving, the little things that they do to make sure people are entertained, that makes a big difference.
Each time we get a break in the action, we'll do our program prize draw. Just try and get our program sellers down to the front here so we can read off those numbers at the next possible break as we're ready to go with the feature event for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division. Mike Thorne's going to line up on the pole alongside Blake Bomberry in the 24. Go Fast Teeple. Back there with Spencer General Thomas in row number 2. Jim Lampman and Mark Bazine make up row 3. Ryan Beagle and Donnie Lampman will be back there in row number 4. Row 5, Logan Schwedick and Chris Hale. Row number 6, Ryan Denning and Brian Pachetti. Dave Bailey is going to be back there in the 49. He's got some work to do alongside Trevor DeBoer in the 23. And then Casey Huffman and Ken Sargent will bring up the tail. And this, the final feature of the season for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division. 20 laps will be the distance. And again, once we get a quick break in the action, next caution flag, we'll do the program prize draw numbers.
And we're hearing Dave Axton was disqualified from his heat for electronic bleeders on the car. So that's a no-no here at Ohsweken. Happy birthday to Rachel DeBoer today. Happy birthday, Rachel.
Green is out for the final time for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division. Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne, former champion, out in front. All stacked up behind him, Teeple and Bomberry side by side.
Man, oh man, and deep in the field, they're 4 wide, racing down into 3 and 4. Nobody giving an inch. Nice move by Kenny Sargent in that 25.
Burger Barn cars been hooked up tonight. Their qualifying heat, they finished 1 and 2, and now separating themselves from the pack. Mike Thorne out in front over Mark Bazine. Then it's a 4-car, make it 5-car fight for the 3rd spot as Jim Lampman, Go Fast People, Blake Bomberry, Logan Schwedick, and Ryan Beagle are all right there.
Top 2 again have pulled away, just like you said, Greg, just like they did in their heat. They've got a bit of a gap over Jim Lampman and Go Fast People. Then it's Ryan Beagle in the 84 with Logan Schwedick in the 53. And that 4-car battle there is really holding things up for Bomberry, Sargent, Bailey behind them. I think they might be a little bit quicker, but there's just nowhere to go. Look at that 3 wide out of turn 2.
Great fight going on back there. And now we're about to see a challenge for the lead as Mark Bazine looks to the inside of his teammate. Not the strongest of seasons for the Burger Barn Racing team. A lot of bad luck, and things just didn't go the way for those 2 drivers. Mike Thorne, who started the season in the 360s, went back to the Thunder Stocks, but they've got things in the right direction. And Adam, I know the offseason's coming, but a win at the end of the year still carries a lot of momentum into next year.
And they're having a great night, putting on a good show for team owner Jason Hill, who is in Oklahoma City, I believe, with Celeste. They are at a horse event down there. He says, what are the odds? 2 big events on the same weekend. So thankfully, we've got the stream. I hope he's watching it and enjoying it. We wish he was here.
Mark Bazine leads that lap, that time over teammate Mike Thorne. All the while, Logan Schwedick has been able to reel in the top 2. You got Jim Lampman right behind him. Dave Bailey riding in the 5th spot. Ken Sargent started in the back row. He's up to 6th.
Yeah, Sargent, like he was shot out of a cannon in this race. He's been up on the wheel from the very start.
4th on back. Good fight continues on. Dave Bailey, Ken Sargent, Jim Lampman, and Ryan Beagle. It's a gap back to the next car, Go Fast Teeple. Ryan Bitting caught back there kind of mid-pack, not really moving forward.
Yeah, not going too far. Trevor DeBoer in the 23 is another one, kind of struggling back there in that blue and gold machine. But it is tough competition. I mean, all of these cars are stout. The Burger Barn boys are on the wheel tonight and having a great run as Mark Bazine leads by 3 car lengths over Mike Thorne, then his 5 car lengths back to Logan Schwedick.
Interesting to know if any of these drivers tried a few different things on their cars tonight. It's basically a throwaway race. You can do what you want, maybe try some things out that you've wondered but haven't wanted to give up points trying.
And even worse, what if they tried something and then came out and realized that they will never race on this track again because it's never been quite like this.
Mark Bazine out in front of her, Mike Thorne, and Logan Schwedick is there now, right in that 3rd spot. Dave Bailey in 4th, Ken Sargent 5th, Ryan Beagle riding back in the 6th spot, and Jim Lampman in 7th. Those 7 cars have broken away from the rest of the pack.
And we just completed the halfway, so still 9 laps to go. There's a lot of racing left. Logan Schwedick has caught up to Mike Thorne, but he hasn't really been able to do much with the 55 machine. Thorne looks to be running the line Schwedick would be making tracks with.
Bazine leads on lap number 12. 8 laps left to go. Thorne feeling the heat from Logan Schwedick. That 1 feature win this year, and that number 53, they work it down the backstretch. Spencer General Thomas, the lap car, right in front of the leaders.
Spencer General Thomas has picked up the pace a little bit too. I mean, he's still going a lap down, 13 laps into the race, but he's much quicker than he was when he first brought that car out.
Making improvements, that's the name of the game. It's hard to get up there to this level of the competition in this division. So many good cars and drivers. There absolutely is, and we just saw there Logan Schwedick all but pushing Mike Thorne around Spencer General Thomas, trying to make a move. There just wasn't enough racetrack. Mark Bazine will come down and see the high 5 from Kyle McKenzie. 5 more trips around they go. Bazine leading, Thorne 2nd, but Schwedick working hard in that right rear quarter panel of the Burger Barn 55.
Chris Hale just made a move to the outside of Go Fast Teeple. There was barely enough room for a race car between Teeple and the wall, but Hale drove it in there. So that's another good battle on the track. Ryan Dinning just ahead of them, Brian Pachetti just behind them, as Logan Schwedick has taken the second spot.
It's not working out for Blake Bomberry. He was really good in his qualifying heat, but it's mired deep in this one.
3 laps to go. Can Mark Bazine hold on in that 21X? Logan Schwedick is there. Takes a look to the inside through 1 and 2.
Schwedick on the bottom. He's got the momentum, and he edges in front into corner number 3. Side by side with Mark Bazine. Mike Thorne still there, lurking behind, and Dave Bailey, the champ, he's still in the mix.
2 laps to go, and Schwedick is nosed out in front. Now it's Schwedick, a pair of Burger Barn cars, and then the 49 of Dave Bailey.
Logan Schwedick sees some lap traffic directly in front, and he's still been able to pull away from Bazine and Thorne. White flag is out. Logan Schwedick looking for his second win of the year.
Dave Bailey was looking to the outside. That opens the inside for Ryan Beagle. The 2 Burger Barn cars side by side, but it's Logan Schwedick who has pulled away.
Sails down to the inside, the lap car of Casey Huffman to the checkered flag. Logan Schwedick gets the win. And wow, at the line it was Mark Bazine by inches over Mike Thorne. Dave Bailey fourth. And I believe it was Ryan Beagle back there in position number 5.
That was a good race.
That was a great race. Some of these drivers probably thinking, now why couldn't Dave Bailey have a 4th place more often? He won an awful lot here in 2019. And even though he was so good, we saw some fantastic racing in the Thunderstock division in 2019. I don't think anyone left disappointed in this division.
No, that's for sure. They put on a show each and every night.
We're going to do the program prize draw real quick right now. If you have this, any of these winning program numbers, go down to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. First up, $50 gift certificate, courtesy of Grand River Dinner Cruises to 110, 110. A Monster Energy t-shirt, courtesy of Coca-Cola to 149, 149. One hat, courtesy of Caledonia Auto Supply to 102, 102. Free pita, courtesy of the Pita Pit in Caledonia to 127, 127. Free large 3-item pizza, courtesy of Wiggy's Pizza in Caledonia to 131, 131. And a small Monster Energy cooler bag and sunglasses, courtesy of Coca-Cola to 153, 153. If you have any of those program numbers, please make your way down to the base of the flag stand to claim your prize. 110, 149, 102, 127, 131, and 153. Looks like we have enough time to quickly squeeze in Victory Lane down trackside with Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, guys. Group number 1 for the sprint car, feature number 1 getting lined up in there. So we'll jump in here with our winner, Logan Schwedick. Logan, not a bad way to end your season here at the Big O. Congrats.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. Wish it could have came a little earlier in the year, but it is what it is, and I guess we'll regroup and get ready for next year. I just want to thank all my sponsors, Xterra, Advantage Electric, Wellington Breweries, Blast Force, S&S Cleaning, and anybody else who helps me out, all the guys in the pits, and my girlfriend and my mom and dad. So.
Excellent job. The track looked amazing tonight. What's your thoughts on what the sprint cars are going to see coming up next?
I think we're going to have a pretty good race. It's an interesting track. It's actually a little bit harder to make a pass on, so it'll be a good race.
Congrats, Logan Schwedick. He is your feature winner here in the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks, their final feature of the season. We'll turn it back up to you guys to take a couple photos. We'll get right back here with Kyle Word as he works his way here to Victory Lane.
Yeah, Kyle Wirt heading down to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, and then we'll head into 3 15-lap feature events for the 360 sprint cars. They are over there on the warm-up track, about to get pushed off and ready to go. Kyle Wirt giving Logan Schwedick a little bump there down in Victory Lane. Again, make sure you're back tomorrow for the 15th Annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, brought to you by Aero Express and Nitro 54 Variety. There we see Kyle Wirt walking his car down in place, and he'll meet up with Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, Kyle, I think this is like the 5th or 6th time we met here this year, which is a solid run. Tonight, non-points, doesn't mean anything, just a bit of fun and one final kick at the can. What's the story? Your car's for sale, you're searching around. Where are we going to see you in 2020?
I don't know. I guess we'll see what the winter months bring, but we're optimistic at this point. Maybe it'll take a year to watch, but who knows?
Come on, man. Give me something I can use. What do you want to do?
It'd be nice to race a full fender car, but sometimes it's a bit too expensive, so we'll see what we can do.
You've always smiling over here, Kyle, even when things don't quite go your way. Would you say you had a good season?
Oh, yeah. The last few weeks kind of sucked, but overall this has been amazing from what it came from last year, so pretty happy with it.
Who you want to thank, man, for a great year?
Definitely got to thank all my sponsors, Eccles Auto Service, Wellington Brewery, Gales Auto Aftermarket, and Junkyard Jordan. They've been helping me out a lot, and the girlfriend, she's here every week, and she hasn't left me yet, so this is going well.
Good job. How about it for Kyle Wirt, one of the top drivers here in our HRW Automotive Mini Stock. He will win the final feature here at the Big O Mr. Transmission Victory Lane for the 4 cylinders for this year.
Great season for Kyle Wirt in car number 19. A heartbreak for him that couldn't grab the championship with 6 wins total. Nothing to hang his head about. And hopefully we'll get to see him back soon.
That is my favorite fire suit.
Oh, by far. Three 15-lap feature events lined up and ready to go for the 360 sprint cars. We have a car that is running, and it's been running for a while, so you're probably low on fuel. Florida plate, JKL-A26. Your car is running. Florida plate, JKL-A26. Starting from the pole in feature number 1 for the 360 sprints from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, driving the 55. That'll be Mark Smith. In the Foundation's 55 machine to his outside out of Tilsonburg. In the Petro Plus Burger Barn, Mobile 1, number 13, Cory Turner. Going from the 3rd position from St. Matthew de Beloeil, Quebec. The Four Seasons Foundation Mega Pumping. Number 28 FM, the Fireball, Steve Poirier. Lining up 4th out of Scotland with a heat race win here tonight. In the Styes Tree Service, Town Line Variety, Ackland Insurance, 87X, Sean Evans. And going from 5th out of Cloverdale, Ohio. Driving the MW Construction, number 17, that's Jared Horseman. Starting 6th, fantastic run in his qualifying heat. Driving the Nitro 54 Variety. Big Dog Wing Sauce, Ackland Insurance, number 15, Dan Nanacoke, lined up 7th out of Carlisle. In car number 9. Sponsored by Nitro 54 Variety, MMBO Direct Marketing, Steve Lyons, going from 7th. Starting 8th out of Wapakoneta, Ohio. Driving car number 23 in the Ferris Commercial Mowers machine, that's Devin Doby. Starting 9th out of Kingpin Farms. Burger Barn, Aitken Motors 91, Ryan Turner out of Dunville. Going from 10th out of Bradenton, Florida. First visit ever here to the Speedway in the 28M. That is Connor Morrell. Going from 11th out of Wantage, New Jersey. And the Dave Franek Auto Sales 28F, Davey Franek. Starting in the 12th position out of Dorchester, the Case IH Ohsweken Speedway car number 1 of Holly Porter. And going from 13th out of London in the Pinewood Horticulture, BS&B Radiators. Car number 7, that is Caleb Wood, going from 14th. And car number 46 was scheduled to be Kevin Pauls, but he was caught up in that accident earlier on tonight, and Aaron Turkey also will not make the call. And as you can tell, and quite obviously, Steve Poirier not going to make the call either after the motor issues after winning his qualifying heat. This time by a white flag being displayed in the first of the triple 15s. You win, you're in. 3 drivers have a chance to do that here tonight.
I really like this front row. Mark Smith in the 55, always strong when he shows up to the Big O. But Cory Turner in that 13, man, oh man, when he brought that car out last week with a new look, he showed a lot of speed, had a fantastic feature run last Friday night. Looking for big things out of Cory Turner.
See how Dan Anakoke fares in this feature event. He was so good in that qualifier earlier tonight, impressed all of us. Mark Smith, he's due for a big Canadian Sprint Car Nationals weekend. He's always in the thick of it. Could this be the year? He'll lead them to the green, but it's Cory Turner, the great jump down at corner 4.
Mark Smith gets out in front, slides up in front of Turner. Jared Horseman applying the pressure from the second spot.
Mark Smith leads him off of corner number 4 across the line. He'll lead lap number 1, but Jared Horseman all over the back end of that number 55 machine as they all wash up the hill in corner 2, come back down and rocket down the backstretch.
Lap 1 of this feature event was a very fast learning opportunity for these drivers. And wow, Cory Turner with a beautiful pass. Drove it down the inside. It looked like it was going to be a slide jump, but he kept the car down low. Cory Turner's on fire.
I don't know what is fueling that Petro Plus 13, but it's been a rocket ship in its first 2 weeks. Cory Turner to the point on lap number 3, making a statement, getting by Mark Smith.
That is not a line we see a lot of success out of here at Ohsweken. Now he heads back up to the outside with Mark Smith trying to give chase.
One up high in corner number 3. I believe it was, Cory's brother, Ryan Turner, that got off track. He's gathered it back up. How about the battle for the 3rd spot? Jared Horseman and Sean Evans. Evans having a good fight there with one of the veterans.
Sean Evans needs a good weekend here in that 87X. It has been a tough year. A lot of it was not his doing. A lot of it just circumstances.
Off of corner number 4, Cory Turner. Wow, he is sharp here tonight. 6 laps on the board. 9 left to go for the Petro Plus Burger Barn Mobile 1, number 13. Mark Smith second. Jared Horseman back there in spot number 3. Then it's Sean Evans and Steve Lyons, your top 5.
A little bit of dust coming up off the racetrack, but a beautiful racing surface for these drivers out here, and they are using every groove on the racetrack.
Into corner number 3, another time goes Cory Turner. This time by, we'll see the cross flags. 8 on the board, 7 to go. Mark Smith now working the inside line, trying to find something to gain ground on Cory Turner.
He went down to the bottom. He was trying to find moisture along the inside wall, some unused clay down there. He just couldn't find a smooth enough line, so he's kind of gone back up the track looking for a spot that his car is happy in.
Cory Turner up in corner number 1, riding that extreme outside line. Said he absolutely loved the car 1 week ago, and down at Victory Lane finished on the podium. He's got to be loving week number 2. He's been impressive. And when you're beating drivers like Mark Smith and Jared Horseman, you're accomplishing something.
And Clinton Jeffrey, I'm going to need your help here. I need someone who understands how this works, but is this track taking rubber? I've never seen Ohsweken Speedway do that.
So Cory Turner working it through 1 and 2, seeing some lap traffic. Caleb Wood will be the first car in his sights. He's got about a 10-car length advantage over Mark Smith, who continues to work the bottom in 3 and 4, maybe closing the gap just a little.
I think Cory Turner might have checked up just a little bit. He's not pushing it quite as hard as he was, but you've got to be careful in sprint car racing. That can jump up and bite you, as he's going to see 2 laps to go this time from Kyle McKenzie.
Cory Turner will lead it into corner number 1. Will gingerly try to get by that 7 of Caleb Wood. Mark Smith's not done just yet. He can sniff the leader. He can see him. He's gaining on the bottom. This time by, the white flag is out. Can Cory Turner hold on and get a hometown win?
What Cory Turner's doing really well is right here. He gets off of turn 2 with a good drive where Mark Smith loses his drive. Checkered flag going to be in the air this time, and it's Cory Turner who's going to take the win over Mark Smith and Jared Horseman.
Sean Evans will cross the line in 4th. 5th at the line will be Ryan Turner. 6th, Steve Lyons. 7th was the 28 of Morel. And it's Davey Franick, Holly Porter, Devin Doby, Dan Nanakoke, and Caleb Wood. But they're going to be celebrating over in the Team Turner pit area tonight. Cory Turner picks up the win in Triple 15, number 1.
And with absolutely no disrespect intended, that is a shocking win when Cory Turner can beat Mark Smith, Jared Horseman. Those are some pretty heavy hitters in the dirt sprint car racing world.
Yeah, you'd look at this lineup and think right away, well, Steve Poirier obviously wasn't able to make it out, but you would think Mark Smith, Jared Horseman, they're going to be right in the thick of it and competing for this win. And Cory's going to be in the mix, but maybe not a contender to win.
Exactly.
But, wow.
To run up there around them, but you don't necessarily expect, I don't anyhow, to see Cory Turner be behind them, past them, and stay out front.
Like you say, no disrespect, and that's not even going towards Cory, because we don't have a big history of hometown track drivers winning these events. So a big statement made tonight by Cory Turner as we get ready for feature number 2. Going from the pole in this one out of Scotland, Ontario, the champion here at the Speedway in the original Traders Energy Sovereign Fusion 47X D-Dubs Dylan Westbrook. Going from second out of Brewerton, New York in the 87 Speed X1 Race Cars 87 Racing Jason Barney. Lining up in position number 3 out of Elida, Ohio. And the Horseman Racing, car number 17M, that'll be Max Stanbaugh. Going from 4th out of Brantford, the CarQuest Auto Parts, Brown Auto Sales, number 10B, downtown, Mitch Braun. Starting in 5th out of Port Colborne, the Galetta Flooring Services 22, Sean Slider. And lining up in position number 6, driving car number 7C, he's out of Port Leyden, New York, in the Tioga Construction Westward Painting, car number 7C is Dylan Swernick. Going from the 7th position, the driver out of Harding, Pennsylvania, the Mechanical Service Company 79, that is Jordan Thomas. And going off 8th, the winner 1 week ago from Texas. In the 15H, the original Traders Energy Town Line Variety 15H, that is Sam Hayford Teep Jr. Going from 9th out of Beamsville in the Parts Source, J&E Recovery. Car number 88H, Josh Hansen. And alongside him, the 10th spot from St. Matthew de Bellevue, Quebec, car number 28. That is Jordan Poirier in the Four Seasons Foundation machine. Going from 11th out of Belleville, Ontario, the Elbrook Excavating 84, Tyler Rand. Kyle Moffitt alongside him out of South Dayton, New York in the Stelter Racing 36. Alan Galetta will start 13th out of St. Catharines in the 22 Junior. Alex Hill will start 14th, not making the call for this one, I don't believe. And Scott Burke in the 9B will not make the call either. Green flag is out for Triple 15, number 2.
Oh, Dylan Westbrook drives it down into 1, slides all the way across turn 2.
Wow, and he almost caught the nose piece of Jason Barney trying to catch Max Stanbaugh. Stanbaugh will lead lap 1.
Stanbaugh out in front over Westbrook and Barney dueling for second. Here comes Haferteep up into 3rd.
Dylan Westbrook going backwards here, not used to seeing that, as he'll make a charge now on Sam Haferteep Jr. These two are teammates out of the Hills Racing stable. We got one around at corner 4, that's Tyler Rand.
Well, and this is where Greg Callan double file restarts might be a good friend to Dylan Westbrook.
Yeah, that it will. I want to mention that tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., we'll have a live feed on the inspection cam on YouTube. So if you go to our Ohsweken Live YouTube page, we have a camera that's mounted right there in the tech barn. And those watching at home can see it right now, where you can see the scales there. That will start at 9 a.m. You can watch the live inspection as it takes place. Great idea.
I'll be sleeping.
I thought I heard something about you going to the Burger Barn.
For 11 a.m.
Oh, 11.
Bunch of us going to the Burger Barn tomorrow for 11 a.m. I'm going to be there for a few hours because my wife can't make it until 1 o'clock, so I may have breakfast and lunch.
Jason Barney And Max Stambaugh will bring us back to the green flag. Sam Haferteep and Dylan Westbrook there, row 2. Mitch Braun, Dylan Swiernick. Row 3, Jordan Poirier and Josh Hansen back in row 4. Jordan Thomas, Alan Galetta back in row 5. Sean Slider, rather, back in that row. Also out there is Alan Galetta and Tyler Rand. 3 wide for second down the backstretch.
Nice move by Mitch Braun to get up there into that battle, and then he gets clipped by Stambaugh going into turn 3. That could have been worse.
Jason Barney works the bottom side. He's always been solid here at the Big O, and that number 87 machine driver to Brewerton, New York. How about Mitch Braun? He made a statement tonight, winning his qualifying heat, and here he is working by Sam Haferteep.
Dylan Westbrook, did you see him? I think he hit the wall on the backstretch out of 2 the last lap. Did a beautiful job not to completely destroy that car, as we've got Galetta around. And no, that's not Galetta. Is that Rand again? Who is that?
No, it's either Galetta or Sean Slider.
Oh, they're both in this race. I'm sorry.
It's Sean Galetta. Alan Galetta around there. In corner number 2, Sean Slider also out there in the team car. So they get Alan Galetta looped back around with 5 on the board, 10 laps left to go. Racing Jason Barney leads over Max Stambaugh. Really impressive night for Mitch Braun. Gets by Sam Haferteep in that last exchange.
Adam asked if it track was taking rubber. I don't think in the history of this place it's ever taken rubber. I just think it's blacking up on us now, getting a little bit slicker, and up over the cushion there, that outside lane is the best clay up there right now, and they can really dig in it. There is a little bit on the bottom, but the middle's starting to blacken up, and this is classic Canadian Sprint Car Nationals track conditions here, setting up for a fantastic tomorrow, guys. And big shout out to the track crew. You know, they didn't, I don't want to say they didn't know what to do, but they were scratching their heads a bit today, figuring, do they water it like normal? If the rain comes, you know, in the afternoon, how do you manage it to get it back so it's not too wet? But they have hit a home run here. And the only thing I had to say to Jordan is, how come you didn't do this all year long? And he gave me the year number 1 salute, and we moved on.
What's the report for Glenn Stiers? They putting a bullet in that for tomorrow night, Clint?
You know, our team's hustling along so far. I've been stuck in the middle. I'll try and get that info and get back to you in a minute, guys.
Back to the green flag, 10 laps to go in feature number 2, and racing Jason Barney takes off. Here comes Sam Haferteep. He had a slick move from 4th, now running in 2nd, but Horseman and Brown will surpass him again.
Slick, but not slick enough. Mitch Braun battles back. Oh, we got a couple of them together. Jordan Thomas and Dylan Swiernick, I believe, at the back of the pack.
Lap number 6 goes on the board. Racing Jason Barney leads over Max Stambaugh. Sam Haferteep has the door shut on the inside line. He'll lose momentum, and Brown now will go down to the inside of him.
Great racing back there for 2nd, 3rd, 4th as Jason Barney out in front driving away.
Trying to get this complete program in, coming up on the halfway point here this time by. It should be 8 on the board and 7 laps left to go for racing Jason Barney with weather coming. We are halfway through these features.
Down through 1 and 2. Barney now running the bottom as well. Mitch Braun running that line. Mitch Braun just turned his fastest lap of the race, 0.3 of a second faster than Jason Barney.
Barney across the stripe completes lap number 9. 6 laps left to go in this one. Mitch Braun running 2nd. Those brakes glowing red. The battle behind him, Max Stambaugh and Sam Haferteep, as we see the leader coming off of corner 4, racing Jason Barney. Sees the 5 to go signal.
Josh Hansen just had a moment there in turn number 2. He got up near the outside concrete, but out in front continues to be Jason Barney, running similar times lap after lap with Mitch Braun in the 10.
Mitch Braun trying to reel him in that number 10 machine, the CarQuest Auto Parts. Brown Auto Service, number 10B, scored here this weekend. Driver to Brantford, having a nice run in that 2nd spot. You can hold off Max Stambaugh and Sam Haferteep. You're doing something right. Mitch is doing that.
3 laps to go now. Stambaugh might be closing in on Mitch Braun. Yeah, he's a little bit quicker right now, running that high groove. Brown still down on the bottom.
2 laps left to go for racing Jason Barney. 1 more feature to go. Can we beat the weather is the question. As we can see the lightning in the distance, but the storm is in the front of this one as racing Jason Barney is setting a torrid pace. And he has since the drop of the green flag. White flag is out for the driver to Brewerton, New York.
Look at where the track is slicked over and darkened up on the outside and on the bottom, and there's still kind of that no man's land through the middle. But I think this race is all Jason Barney and Mitch Braun trying to hang on for second, but here comes Stambaugh.
Barney will get the win at the line for second. Brown holds on over Max Stambaugh, Sam Haferteep, Jordan Poirier, Dylan Westbrook, Jordan Thomas, Tyler Rand, Josh Hansen, Sean Slider, Alan Galetta. That's your final running order as racing Jason Barney out of Brewerton, New York picks up the win in triple 15. Number 2.
I don't think Sam Haferteep is all too thrilled. He drove that car directly into the pits, but hey, you're at Ohsweken Speedway. There's no gimmies around here.
Well, pretty much all week long, looking at the forecast, if you told me we were going to get this far tonight, I would have said you're crazy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, we've got a lot of weather people who keep in contact with us. It's pouring in Burlington, it's pouring in Kitchener, it's pouring in Simcoe. That is 3 of the 4 directions around us.
Third and final feature ready to come out onto the speedway, starting from the pole out of Kokomo, Indiana. Driving the Victory Games Town Line Variety, number 67, Access the Law Firm, Parker Price Miller. Lining up in the second position out of Romulus, New York, driving car number 22P, the Williams Insurance Machine, that'll be Jonathan Preston. Starting in position number 3 out of Tonawanda, New York, driving car number 7NY, the Fiberworks Composite Machine, that is Matt Farnham, the rookie driver, alongside him out of Bradford, Pennsylvania. Driving the bundle of warmth, car number 35, the Juice, Jared Zimbardi. Starting in position number 5 out of Brantford, in the Hills Tire and Gas, Brown Auto Service, Little Bend 110, Jake Brown, and going from position number 6. He hails out of Port Jervis, New York. That is Billy Van Edwigen in the Profab number 56 machine. Lining up 7th out of Bath, Ontario, the RL Paving. RL Asphalt number 16L, that is Roger Levesque. He is outside from Bedford. And then Jennifer Hatch, Coldwell Banker, Tim's Lawn Care, Dykstra Racing Engines 5D. That is Shane Ross. Starting in 9th out of Clay, New York. In the Mucci Motorsports, number 99, that is Joe Trenka. And starting in the 10th spot from Cleveland, Ohio. Driving the 46 Group 46C, that is Ryan Conium. Rolling off in the 11th position out of St. Williams, the DNW Group, Wooly Lamb. Gales Auto Aftermarket 21 of John Burbridge Jr. Starting 12th in the Mike Yerrick Dodge Chrysler. Car number 8, Hannah Farrell. Starting 13th out of London, the 4-wide Designs 15. That's Mike Farrell, the president. Starting 14th, not making the call, Double D Dustin Daggett or the 0 of Glenn Stiers. Looks like we're going to draw the 50-50 here at the tower, so stay tuned for that. Green flags in the air. The final feature of the night is underway.
Well, I was just going to mention, guys, Stiers text me. They will change the motor. He'll be back tomorrow. Away we go.
Parker Price Miller to the point as he works around Jonathan Preston. Look at Matt Farnham. He's been good since moving to the 360s.
Matt Farnham, an impressive driver in that 7NY as Farrell makes the hard left turn down into the infield on the back straightaway. His night will end prematurely. Jake Brown up into the 4th spot in that 110.
Yeah, Mike Farrell pulls off. Hannah Farrell still in this one. She's running the 360 for the 2nd time here at Ohsweken this year. She ran with the SOS 1 week ago. So we got a good battle up towards the front as Parker Price Miller, Matt Farnham, Jonathan Preston, and Jake Brown right now your top 4.
Farnham is really charged in the bottom of the corners, and he's almost daring the car to hang on. He'll let it slide across, but just trying to get that forward bite. Doing a great job challenging Parker Price Miller.
Miller up in corner number 3 using the high side. Matt Farnham digging on the bottom lane. We've seen 2 very good grooves, and this is what we expect Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. We've seen drivers do it around the top, and we've seen plenty of drivers win from the bottom. Here comes Farnham using that inside line. Miller moves down.
Yeah, Parker Price Miller tries to defend, runs him down a little bit lower. Matt Farnham, oh no you don't. He takes the lead.
We've seen some big surprises here tonight Adam, to say the least. Some drivers that we would expect to walk away have not been even in contention, and some other drivers have gotten by some pretty big names.
Matt Farnham, that's a great line he's running to take the lead. Parker Price Miller is keeping pace. Where's Scott Kruder tonight?
Did not come. I know he's on the property because I saw him earlier today, but not racing tonight.
Wow, Parker Price Miller getting slowed up in traffic as we've got one headed pit side.
Here it's Barney. The Juice will take it to the pit area as a leader. Heavy traffic, and that's going to open up the door for Parker Price Miller to swing it around the outside.
Price Miller wound up on the high side. Matt Farnham still working the bottom as Ryan Conium got up off the bottom for Farnham there. So did Hannah Farrell. The seas parted for Matt Farnham to make that move.
Farnham working the inside line, coming down. He'll complete lap number 9. So 6 laps left to go. Parker Price Miller. Now he'll work the inside line, trying to find some sort of advantage to gain ground. Jonathan Preston trying to close the gap. We got another one. It's Joe Trenka headed to the pit area.
What a battle at the front of this field. Here comes Parker Price Miller with 5 laps to go.
Farnham and Parker Price Miller right now 1 and 2. Preston has cleared all the lap traffic. He can see the top 2. Time's running out, but he's closing the gap a little bit.
You know, it used to be SOS versus ESS versus SOD versus Patriots. Matt Farnham doesn't really have an alliance. He's just a guy who's a really good race car driver.
That he is, and he's proving it right now. He's giving Parker Price Miller all he can handle, trying to find a line by him with 3 laps left to go. This time idling 2 to go from Kyle McKenzie as the leaders work down the backstretch.
Farnham gonna have to come off the bottom to get around John Burbridge. Here comes Parker Price Miller. Oh, wise choice.
Oh, wow. What a decision by Parker Price Miller. The only decision he had, or he was going into the fence.
Yeah, that was something. That would have been big. Let's see this time. Parker Price Miller trying to get that run to the outside. He'll swing to the bottom.
Beautiful move. Slides up in front of Farnham, but he's going to wash up the banking in 2. Farnham back by for the lead down the backstretch.
Farnham's got a decision to make on this last lap. Last corner down into 3 and 4. Here comes Price Miller on the outside.
Wow, what a move. Parker Price Miller parks it in victory lane with an outside pass on Matt Farnham. What a battle. What a night. And I never thought we'd even get it in.
You know, as great a race as that was, Matt Farnham just got a fantastic education on how tomorrow night might go. I mean, he'll be disappointed that he is not locked into tomorrow's race, but you've got to think he learned a great deal. And folks, pull out your 50-50 tickets.
Yeah, get those 50-50 tickets out as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway, celebrating the big win here tonight by Parker Price Miller. We're going to get a word with all 3 of our Triple 15 winners here tonight. Get your 50-50 tickets out. If you have this ticket, come to the announce tower here and claim your prize. 75221, 75221. If you have that number, you've won the 50-50 draw. They haven't tabulated the total yet, but 75221. If you had that winning 50-50 number, come up to the announce tower to claim your prize.
Lone Wolf Fireworks putting on a big display here, as they do each and every Friday night. Mother Nature put on quite a fireworks show over the last hour or so. Thank you so much, race fans, for coming to be a part of our program here tonight. The weather forecast promised us we were not going to get this in, but you guys came anyhow, and we appreciate you very, very much. Clinton Jeffrey is in victory lane.
Thanks, Adam. Parker Price Miller up on the roof here in Mr. Transmission victory lane. We'll bring out our other 2 triple winners. We'll get a word here with Parker Price Miller around front. Parker, solid run for you tonight. It didn't come easy. Now, that guy you're battling, Matt Farnham, just come out of a big block modified this year, and he's had some solid runs, but he gave you a good battle tonight.
Yeah, we just weren't very good. Been trying a few things, and the track's a little bit different than usual, but it's still racy. Just got to fine tune, and we'll be okay come tomorrow. But yeah, he was good, man. When it came to lap traffic, I think he probably would have won. But you know, just racing here as much and knowing the track and knowing the cars, I kind of had an advantage. But you know, it's good we got the race tonight just because it's so much different and we're not as good as we were last year. So we'll take what we learned tonight and we'll fine tune.
There he is, Parker Price Miller, winner of triple race number 3 here tonight. We'll wait for the other two to make their way down as this one hustled on. How about a hand for our Ohsweken crew tonight, ladies and gentlemen? They hustled their butts off to get all these races in for you fans tonight on a night when Mother Nature said, racing, I don't think so, guys and girls, but we made it happen. Don't forget, tomorrow's an even bigger event here for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Adam, Greg, keep us alive here for a minute while we get the rest of these guys going down here.
Well, that car down in Victory Lane so far this year is 2 for 3 here at Ohsweken Speedway. And if not for a right rear flat for Christopher Bell on night 1 of the Northern Summer Nationals, might have been perfect. And Parker Price Miller gets it done in convincing fashion with a power move. And that's the type of racing we expect this weekend at the Nationals.
It was a chess match at high speeds, and you could see Matt Farnham had to make a decision going into 3 and 4, and I think he made the right decision. That was the line that took him to where he was, so he sort of lived and died by it and comes home with a solid second-place finish.
Jason Barney, also a winner here tonight. We'll get a word with him in just a moment. He won Triple 15 number 2. And the big story here for the hometown crowd, Cory Turner picking up the win in the first Triple 15. That Petro Plus Burger Barn Mobile 1 machine is hooked up. It ran second last week in its first appearance. And I'm sure Cory's pretty excited to get one of those guaranteed spots for tomorrow night. We have a winner in the 50-50. Rick Hosian of Port Dover won $835. Congratulations, Rick.
And Clint, ask Jason if it's a big deal to be locked into tomorrow night's feature.
Well, Jason Barney, Adam's first question, he beat me to it. Is it a big deal to be locked in for tomorrow night?
Hell yeah, it's awesome. Second time I've got a night before the Nationals win, which is it's great, special, very special event, very special feeling right now. Just a great night. Racetrack was awesome. We made some good decisions, and I feel like we've improved. Summer Nationals, we were good the first night, horrible the second night, and kind of racked my brain on that ever since. And what I thought we needed seemed to work. So we're going to go with that. Real proud of my guys, really proud of this race team and my race cars, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Is it difficult when you're on the hustle all night? I mean, you guys don't have a lot more time back there. We're screaming at you, get ready, let's go all night long. That change your game at all?
It did. It was great. You got to run it through here quick because the rain would have been coming. But, just sat at motorhome all day trying to play it out in my head what we would do if we got a certain situation, a certain racetrack, and it just kind of worked out. Doesn't always go that way, and I haven't had best luck at that this year, but it was great. Guys were great. They just did everything the right way, and we had a great night.
There's Jason Barney, one of our triple winners here. Guys, set it up. We'll get Cory Turner, and we'll get right back to you.
Jason Barney, as always, strong here at Ohsweken Speedway. Parker Price Miller, he's looking to join Steve Poirier, Shane Stewart as 3-time winners. He's the most recent winner of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. He's got 2 under his belt. A chance to tie some pretty big names. Now we've caught up with Cory Turner down in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane.
Well, Cory, they should have painted the car black a few weeks ago, man. This new Petro Plus machine is on rails for you tonight. Talk about your drive, and you're locked in, man. A big, big deal for you.
Yeah, we've always started deep in the field. If we would have known the black scheme and the Petro Plus scheme was going to do this for us, we would have did it, at the start of the year. But I can't say enough about our team. They just thrashed before this feature. We had a late heat race. Then we got out. I got to thank Jay and Celeste and Gord and everybody who puts this deal together. We got a ton of people, so this is going to be